Have you ever wondered what your future will be like? Well, our next guest may be able to help you with that.
She reads the past, present, and the probable future, and now you can read her story in the new book, Medium Rare. Fourth-generation psychic medium, Linda Lauren. Welcome to Arise 360.
Hey.
Hi.
Thank you so much. It's so great to be here.
So good to have you.
Good to meet you.
I'm a little nervous.
I know. Nervous but excited, right?
You have good colors, good energy, really good energy.
Okay, well, before you tell us that, you have to break it down for us and tell us what exactly
I want
the
to hear about
difference
the
is.
good colors and the good energy first.
How it relates.
Basically, when I look at people, I see colors coming out of their mouths, like bubbles. And that's part of your aura, so it's part of your energy. And when I see that, I'm able to discern what it means. Like, what does the blue mean? What does the red mean? To me, I combine it with what I'm feeling, and it's a good or a bad thing.
So what colors are we?
You have a combination of blue, green, and yellow.
Is that good?
Which is really good because basically you're very good, the blue says you're very good at communicating, talking, but communicating. The green has a lot to do with prosperity, but when you speak, the two of you, you have a very healing nature.
Aww.
So you're very healing to your public.
I like that.
The yellow means that when people tune into you, they know they're going to get the correct emotion. They're going to be right where they need to be, grounded in a good place, not an overly emotional place.
Oh, I love you already.
I know.
Good delivery on
Now
your
you
part.
have to break this down because you're not only a psychic, you're a medium.
Medium as
What's
well.
the difference between the two, and what does that mean you do?
A psychic actually looks at things in terms of right now, what you're doing as a person who's living and moving through life, whether that's romance, finance, things like that. A medium only communicates with those who have died.
Oh, okay.
That's the difference.
How does it work? Because, you know, we've seen all sorts of things
me-
in films like Ghost and on television shows like
For
Long
me-
Island Medium. Walk us through your process.
My process, in terms of the medium part, it's not something that I even embrace like in public. It's something that is private because I believe that when it comes to the other side, that's a very private affair.
Yes.
It's not something that you would, encourage that way. But I look at a picture of the person and they come in. I suddenly will hear or sense somebody around me. I'll look at signatures and I'll be able to discern psychically where you are right now in terms of your energy. Is it a good place? Is it a bad place? Are you heading up, down? So I do a lot of my work with pictures and signatures and color and energy, and I combine it all. And I also do a lot of travel. So.
What sorts of things can you discern about a person from their signature?
You could see whether or not they're going to be traveling, whether or not they're going to be having some hardships coming up. Maybe they have things they have to discuss that they don't know will be coming up. Maybe it's just a good thing. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's just business, but something that they're also going to be addressing. There's so many things, relationships. It depends on
what is it? The lines that they use, the width of the letters?
I don't know what they use, but I used to work for attorneys. And years ago, and I would look at a signature.
Well, you're looking at Lola's. I see you keep looking at Lola. Lola did this signature.
That's my
this
signature.
Is your official?
That's my official. That's what I use.
Lola, you tend to separate life, so you categorize things.
That's very true.
And you will have a lot of things. Like here's one thing, and then you've got to move on to people, and then you'll have clothes. You have to be very careful that your focus isn't so much on making money, because this is somebody who's always looking for the almighty dollar, but that you might spend too much of it instead of keep it.
She needs money.
So you have
you
to
seen the
really
shoes? She needs a lot of money.
No, but you have to.
You know me. She doesn't. Let her finish.
No, you have to be really. No,
I'm listening.
This is a discerning thing. This is something you have to discern for yourself, whether you're spending too much or not. But you're very optimistic. You tend to look at life with the glass half full.
And can you tell that from the large O?
The large O, the way I'm feeling the connection to you, it confirms a lot of your colors. But like I said, you really don't want to separate as much. So don't separate too much.
So what should I do to modify my signature? Make it...
No, modify your signature, modify your life.
Modify my life. Okay, very good point.
So basically, just work with some of the colors that we talked about too,
Now,
because that'll be helpful.
I know you read a lot of celebrities, and we have a celebrity in our studio today. Tiny is here, and so we want her to come over here and sign her signature live on television.
Oh, we'd love that.
We want you to do her reading. So
I will.
If you come right over here, maybe you can stand between Linda and Lola.
Yeah, Tiny, come over here.
And she's going to do her signature.
Okay, here you go, Tiny.
Just sign
Is this the first time you've ever had a reading, Tiny?
No.
No, she's had readings before, probably.
Oh, you can tell that?
Well, sure, most people have.
Oh,
They try.
Okay.
They try to get readings.
Okay.
But you're going to give us the real reading. Okay.
Well, I'm giving you my reading.
Yes.
Okay.
My read's always my read.
Okay.
There's her signature.
Now,
Oh.
what does her
Oh.
signature say about her?
Oh, look at the, I don't know what camera.
There you
There
go.
you
we
go.
see it.
Perfect. Hold it right there.
Okay. All right. Okay. Wow. All right. Stressful times do not call for stressful measures. So focus on not being stressed out. You know, the expression, why worry when you can pray? That's really important because this is a time, this is suggesting that you're trying to hold too many things together and you're trying to move very quickly through them. You're going to have to address a lot and you can't run away. You have to address them. So focus is going to be very important over the next, I would say, 3 weeks to 3 months.
Okay.
Everything you want to focus on, you need to express in writing. So write it down, do it, move on from it. That's how you're going to get through this stressful time. You have a lot of purple, which means you're very intuitive, extremely intuitive. You are able to move people from point A to point B. Very good signature, but you're going to work on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Tanya,
thank
what do you
you.
think about that?
I mean, you know, I was just saying some of these same things last night. So, I mean,
I wasn't in your bedroom.
No.
No.
Yeah,
No.
she's right. I mean, she hit some things on the head.
Thank you very
Really?
much.
Tiny.
I hope it was helpful.
Yeah, it was.
Because
Thank
that's
you.
what's important, huh?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, well, I enjoyed that.
Well, thank you for participating.
It's a pleasure
Just
meeting
getting
you.
deep on set here.
It's going to be a little hectic, but Tiny, you've got the power
focus.
to make it happen.
She does,
Yes.
All right.
without a doubt.
Well, thank you.
Lots of
Thank
power,
you for
hon.
joining
That's
us
why
again.
she's a boss. Okay, so let's talk about Shannon's signature. Let's
we
erase
don't have
the board.
to. It's
Yeah,
fine.
Shannon.
Let's see Shannon.
Yeah, let's see
But
your
you know, my
signature.
signature changes all the time. I don't-
Everybody's does. It should.
So, oh, so
because
that's a
if
good
it
thing.
doesn't, then you are not making any advancement in your life.
Yeah, that
Oh,
means you're
okay.
stagnant. So go ahead.
When I just bought something for my wife that I didn't want to buy, I just like, okay, you know what?
That
That's
doesn't
what I-
count.
okay, that
That's
doesn't count. Okay.
lazy. That's a lazy signature.
All right, this is a real signature. This
Real
is
signature.
how I sign the bills.
Are you in the witness protection program?
I
Why are you
know,
hiding
right?
your signature?
All right, here's my signature. This is the one I commonly use.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. That's,
Okay, you can hold that up so I can see it too, because I want to
Okay.
be able to see
There
it
you
too
go.
here. Okay.
And then I'll show it
All
to
right,
camera
yeah.
too, so they can pick it up.
You know, slow down. You move too fast.
Very true.
You got to make that morning last. I'm
Preach.
telling you.
Preach.
You have to breathe, actually. He's got to stop and breathe. You have a lot of irons in the fire, and those irons are really going to come back and rear their heads if you don't really know what you're doing. Stress is not so obvious in your signature because you hide it real well.
Well, thank you. No, that's not a good thing, is it? Wait a minute.
You hide it, no, you hide it
Oh,
real
okay.
well. But your optimism gets you through. Just, you have to slow down. You have to breathe. And if you don't meditate, start.
Okay. Fair enough.
Breathing.
I like that. Thank
Breathing. Mm-hmm.
you. So tell me a little bit about how did you even find out you had these special
I was
abilities?
3 years old.
Okay.
And from what I understand, I've always been able to see colors coming out of people's mouths. And I would go up to my mother and I'd say, Grandma has blue bubbles. She's blowing bubbles. And my mother would say, and how did that make you feel? I would
Really?
say, made me a little kid, I would say, it made me feel very uncomfortable. I don't think she feels well. And then we'd find out my grandmother had a sore throat. No. So I was relating it to the throat area, the blue for that area. And little by little, what I combined with the colors really told stories. And then I started having dreams, and the dreams were happening, and I was having dreams about airlines and flights that were going down, and I would stop my grandmother from taking that flight, which is in my book.
Do you have any sense what happened to the Malaysian airline?
I'm not going on record with that.
Oh,
if
wow.
you don't
Okay.
want. Only because I feel that there are a lot of variables, and it would take a lot of time
Okay.
to really discuss that.
So you do have a sense,
Yes,
you
I
just
do.
don't want to share.
Well, not right now.
Not right
Tell
now.
us after the show. Okay. But you have helped actual police with
yes, I've-
detective work
yes,
and
I've
involving in finding out where dead bodies are found.
I found, well, actually, they turned out to not be alive, but they were originally missing persons. So I would be called on for cases, you know, to find missing children, or there was a case of a missing housewife in Florida, and, you know, a lot of times you're not finding people alive. So that part of the business was something that I leave to people who really want to embrace that, but I never, ever, ever would turn down anytime law enforcement calls upon me.
Okay, you're also known for reading couples as well.
Yes.
We've been talking about Kim and
Yes.
Kanye all morning. Can you read them for us?
Yes. Can I read them for you? You know, I had an experience with Kanye myself. I was the next guest right after he was on a radio show.
You were kidding.
And talk about a hot seat. I got his energy firsthand.
Wait, was that the Sway interview?
Yes, it was.
Oh, that is genius. When he was
I
like,
was
you
the
don't know the answer, Sway. You don't know the answer.
You don't have all the answers.
You don't know the answer, Sway. You were there for
I was
that?
the next one.
So what was his energy like when you hit him?
Red.
What was coming out of his mouth?
Red. I
bubbles?
walked in and I was like, red. I was like, oh my God. And they were like, you don't know what was going on in here. Because I didn't know. See, I didn't hear it. I was in the green room. I didn't hear anything.
Wow.
So I didn't know. But red, I get a lot of red with both of them. Now, what they have to be careful of is that they don't overdo their story, okay? Because their story is getting redder and redder, which means that they're going to either have to go on the run, you know, get
Like
out
Bonnie and
of
Clyde?
Dodge, so to speak, you know, no, just to go away somewhere and really
gotcha.
escape.
Maybe move to Paris where they're getting
Anywhere,
married, stay
anywhere,
there.
You know,
Okay.
I just don't know how they're going to be able to handle that if they don't deal with what's around them. There's a lot of red around them too, and that means that a lot of people are confused by them as a couple. They need to come clear.
I'm confused about Justin Bieber.
Yes.
What do you...
What's going on?
Help me understand this young man.
Can he be saved?
Yes.
No, anybody can be saved.
Okay.
Okay, come on, no, that's anybody can be. I don't feel his career is happening anymore.
Wow.
I'm feeling that there's going to be another change that he makes that will happen very soon. He's got a lot of black, dark energy, which means he's in that mode of, I'm going to be the one who's against everybody. I'm going to be the vigilante. I'm going to be the one who's doing it all differently.
The rebel.
And the rebel, right. But he doesn't have a cause.
He doesn't have
You
a
know, his
And
cause
that's
is
the
himself, and that's the
Headlines, that's his
problem. It's a
cause.
headline grabber situation. So, you know, I feel he'll be okay eventually, but I don't feel it will sustain him in the business. So that's iffy for me in terms of what I feel.
Okay, well, let's talk about your book,
Yes.
Medium Rare. I love that
loves it.
title. I love a good pun.
Thank you. Well, you know, I didn't know how to approach it, so I said, you know what? Somebody said to me, it's very rare to meet a medium like you. So I said, okay. So we stuck to it. So basically, it's a book about my abilities. Tells you how I came to do what I do. You know, the experiences I've had. A lot of haunted experiences. A lot of
Really? Like
ghosts.
what?
Well, I mean, I was staying in England at a monk's priory that was haunted, and the monk was walking the floors, and he would come out of the woodwork. And as soon as I spoke to him, he would disappear.
Is that terrifying for you? to have
Yes,
those
actually. I mean, everybody thinks, oh, you're a medium,
you're
there's
used to
nothing
it,
else.
yeah.
No, you really, I mean, at first, I hightailed it. You read in my book, I was
You're
I was
out
like
of there.
gone. I was like, oh, I'll come out and address this later. Later on, I addressed these things, you know. But you know, I've seen a lot of things like that. My grandfather, when I was 8, came to say goodbye to my mother. And he knocked on the door, and she said, shh. I was like, 8 years old. She said, stay there. And she said, watch. I don't know how she knew, but she knew. And the door slowly opened. My grandfather stood there, waved, smiled. He had a tan shirt on, an armband. Then he shut the door and he left.
Wow.
And she told me that I was experiencing something very special and that I had just seen someone who passed on and that she knew her father had just died.
Really?
And he did.
Was your mother a medium as well?
I would say I get a lot from my mother,
Okay.
but she didn't. She was more into dreams and things like that.
Okay.
My father's side of the family, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my grandfather, they all were involved in that. My grandmother had in Newark, she had people were coming to her to barter. You know, oh, will you help me with some advice or some healing words or whatever, and barter money or not money, butter for the reading, something like that, or
so it's
I'll
in
watch
your
my
blood.
kids or whatever. Yes.
I can listen to this all day, but we have to leave
Read the
something
book.
for readers.
Read the book.
Yes, and where can people get the book?
Amazon.com. You can
Okay.
go to iBooks. You can go to what's the Barnes and Noble.
Okay.
Or my site, LindaLauren.com.
We'll definitely check it out.
Your site again?
LindaLauren.com.
LindaLauren.com. All right.
Yes. Thank you,
Well,
Linda, so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so much. And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.